rock me, mama.
Welcome back. I'm Nick.
And I'm Chase.
And this is Rock Me Mama.
Nailed it.
No, that was actually good.
That was good. There's also been a discussion of maybe calling this Rock Me Daddy.
Rock Me Daddy.
Could be.
Ooh, it's kinky.
Rock Me Daddy.
They definitely practiced that 3 times. So
They did.
Yeah, and you guys did a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So these are the husbands.
These
this
are
is
the
the
husbands.
much awaited, much anticipated husband episode.
We're all so excited. This is like getting to hang out for all of us without kids.
We've all got babysitters tonight. Well, except Morgan Bell. You guys didn't get a babysitter, but we're at your house.
We're getting paid and we don't have to
exactly.
pay a babysitter.
Exactly. But basically, we're just going to let the listeners ask the questions. I haven't told him any of the questions.
Chase knows one, but that's it.
Do you only know
are
one?
we even going to do that question?
I don't know. Producer Morg is the one.
So Morgan and Bill are going to ask us the questions that you guys set.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys will answer them, and me and Macy will try to shut the fuck up, and it's going to be hard.
yeah. I mean, we'll chime in when necessary.
They haven't been able to talk once.
Hey, Nick.
I would rather not do the question I know. But other than that, I'm happy to be here. Excited. Looking forward
You'll
to
answer
it.
what you're told. No, but you'll do what you're told.
This is our relationship.
I was waiting for him to say that.
This is our
Help
relationship,
me.
guys. No. Well, you guys will ask, and you guys will answer as best you can, and then
Nick, blink twice if you need help.
all right, you guys, give us the first question for the boys.
All right, we'll start with a good one. How did your perception of birth change after experiencing it firsthand?
This is my favorite one.
Oof.
You want to go?
Closer.
No, you go first.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was going to be difficult from the start, right? Like, you're bringing a human into the world, but we had such a traumatic experience from jump when we got to the hospital through those 4 days. It was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, it was a beautiful process when Farrah got there, but everything leading up to it in 36 hours was terrifying.
Yeah.
And to add a little bit of humor to it, I always say that, like, we're there and they're like, you know, hey, we're going to break your water, this, that, and the third. And I'm standing there.
I know what story you're going to tell.
I'm just standing there like a big doofus. And I'm just like, the break her water, whatever. And our OBGYN at the time was just like aggressive.
Yeah.
And like there was no bedside manner.
No, there was no bedside
No,
manner.
and it was, and she just comes in with this chopstick.
I knew that's what he was going to say. Chase, you've heard this story. We have known y'all for what, 13
3 years or
months now?
a year and a half. Yeah.
And I've heard this.
I don't know about the
wanna-
chopstick.
Okay, well, sorry.
So
sorry, Nick.
no, you're good. She comes in with this like white long chopstick and just sticks it in my wife's vagina, and she goes, "All right, your water's broke." I'm like, "What the
did.
fuck do you mean my wife's water's broken?"
And it
She leaves.
was.
And then we never saw her again until the until the emergency C-section. It was nurses until she needed to cut my wife open with a bunch of fucking lasers.
Oof. Yeah, it was.
And you get into, you're sitting out there outside of the OR.
This is rich.
You're sitting outside of the OR, scrubbed up, crying. I was crying. And then like you go in there and they're like, don't look, because the dads that look pass out and we don't want to take care of you. And I'm just like, okay. So I go in there. I don't look behind the curtain. I could have.
You should have.
Yeah, I know. You're disappointed.
I am, because I wanted to report back, like what my organs look like and the whole thing. I want to know. Anyway,
Well, you
go
know what?
on.
There's YouTube.
Yeah. Go on.
So you go and you sit there and then you smell burning flesh and then you're handed a baby and then you sob. And then it takes 3 months for your wife to recover and you have this beautiful child. But it was great, but it was also a goddamn nightmare for 3 days.
It was. And I had pretty intense baby blues. Remember in the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
I cried so hard for like all day, every day. I don't know if that is that. Did you do that too? Were you crying in the hospital every day?
No.
Like right after? you were
Yeah.
crying?
So I got the baby blues like right away, and I cried every single day in the hospital.
Like sad.
Hysterically crying, not because I was so happy to have her, but the whole thing, I think I was just really traumatized.
You had some post.
The whole thing was so traumatizing, and the nurses were amazing. The after nurses. No, remember the hot one? The one that we were like, she's hot. If she took the mask off, we knew she was hot.
She took the mask off.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I've never seen a hot person in my life. Besides my wife.
The blonde one that we were like, you know she's hot. We talked about it like the whole time. We were like, you know she's hot if she takes the mask
Nick,
off.
isn't this what
Just keep
sticks
doing what
out?
you're doing, Nick.
Yeah.
No, but she was
in the corner.
But she was like consoling
Just
me.
keep taking the punches, buddy.
And I looked at, you know when you look in them, you know when you see
There was
yourself?
nobody there.
I'm blinking.
He's so annoying.
Blinking.
He's so annoying. Oh my God, how annoying.
Help me.
Okay, anyway. But she was really kind and sweet, and she was just like helping. She was like, listen, it's really normal to feel like this overwhelmed with emotion.
No,
All right,
it was
whatever. You're not going to acknowledge anyone.
I remember what you're saying. I just remember the nurses being miserable after Farrah was born. And they also shove you in this 8x12 cell that's of concrete. And they go, hey, by the way, you went through this traumatic experience for God knows how long. Don't drop your baby on the concrete. It's like, what?
Yeah, that
They're
is
like,
what
don't
they
fall
said.
asleep with your kid in your
They
arms.
said, don't
It's
fall
like,
asleep with your
why
kid in
don't
your
you put
arms?
us in a padded room?
You got called out because you were asleep
Fucking
with
idiots.
Eli, remember?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I took a nap, I guess. I don't know. Who knows what?
You're
who knows what time-
delirious.
Yeah. No, he was crying, and I like my natural thing as like a first time parent was to pick him up and take him, and I felt like he was fine. I was like on a couch and corralled him, and we both fell asleep for a minute. And
Which is natural.
the nurse came in and like yanked him away, and it wasn't a
Yeah.
I guess
great
they must
feeling.
experience people falling asleep and dropping their kids because they're so hardcore about it that like that must be something that they go through.
Well, and if it happens one time, then there's that like 1% chance that it happens. So it has to be
Yeah.
a precaution.
I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of terrible stories involving that, but who knows?
All right, let's hear your experience with Macy's birth.
What was the original question?
How did your perception of birth change after experiencing it firsthand? No, that was good. You
was good.
you weren't
You were
expecting.
natural.
Yeah.
Perception, closer. I think, well, both times with both boys, there was not a doctor in the hospital or in the room.
When they were
I was-
actually born.
Yeah. I was begging.
there was not a nurse even in the room when Eli was born.
Yeah, begging the nurses to please call the doctor, and none of them trusted me. So I guess my perception of the experience as a whole was a little bit negative in a way. But I don't know. Personally, I mean, like spiritually, it like felt me with this huge emotion that I did not expect to feel. I'm not a religious person. But I don't know. It kind of filled that cup for me
Did you cry?
in a way. Both times,
Both times.
like a baby. And I'm not emotional. I don't ever
Yeah.
cry. And I broke down. So it was bigger than I thought.
Like as when they came out or during the process?
After
was
they came
when-
out,
yeah.
When both times when the boys were handed to, like, it was like right when
Once
he was
we heard
put
the
on
cry,
me.
I guess it was kind of like
That's
once it
when he
was like
cried.
sort of like,
Yeah.
okay, we're all good.
Yeah.
I bawled and it was uncontrollable. So I don't know. I guess I just didn't expect it to be that big. I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's a massive thing. I should have, but it just didn't.
You don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
the way, like, I think it's also just so like out of body.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like it is for us. And I know it must be for you to witness it because you have no control over it.
Right.
And like neither do we, honestly.
Oh, no.
It's happening to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't have any control either.
Yeah.
But like I always talk, like in that episode, I talk about the noise that you made when because she didn't cry at first. And we had been like, for the emergency part, we thought that we were both going to die. Like me and her, I thought I was going to die and I thought she was going to die because I was just like shaking profusely and just the way it went down. But I remember specifically the noise that you made when she started crying. You like let out this like guttural. You clearly had thought that we
like
were
relief.
That we were. It was like an animal,
Yeah.
like animalistic kind of cry.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was it was just like my wife's in an operating room. I can't go in there. They're like, we have to prep her, and like I'm just kind of standing to the side. There's 11 people. In this room.
There's so many
There's so
people.
many people.
Yeah.
And no one, there's like one person who kind of corrals you, and then they leave you there, and then they come get you, and then they're like, all right, we're going to hand you this baby. And then I just was like in shock because your life changes forever.
Yeah.
Your life
Instantly.
changes forever. Like now you weren't a parent, and now you are.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest, it's like the greatest thing ever, but it's like it's like,
Scary.
it was so intense. And we had just such a crazy, crazy experience with it all. So,
Yeah.
Such an instinctual feeling
yeah.
right then in that moment. It's like no matter what year it has been in like our entire earth, every man has felt that feeling the exact same way in that moment. And that's really cool.
It's the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, that's what kind of makes me so sad sometimes when people get divorced and they end up like hating each other, because it's like, you guys went through this
Yeah.
and like you saw this moment and like that should bond you for life. But then life gets in the way.
It sure does feel that way. I mean,
It feels like how
both
could
fresh
you?
into it, but it does really feel that way.
That's when you realize like how little we know.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
didn't, when we started dating each other, we didn't know what life
No.
was going to bring us.
No.
And then you decide to get pregnant and you don't know.
Right.
And then you have the baby and you don't fucking know.
No, you don't.
Everything is a goddamn journey, like the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Well, and I mean, the big thing for us too, when we started dating is like, that was the end goal. It was like marriage, family, all that stuff. So it was,
And
it
that's
was
how,
laid out, but like,
but you still don't have any idea what you're.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting into.
And like with you guys, with the first one, you thought, oh, this is how it is. And then you have the second one and
And he's like, nope. I'm
Totally
different,
different
motherfuckers.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
which birth was more traumatic?
Do you want to answer at the same time? Because I'm curious what you would say.
Ooh,
Sure.
like a 1, 2,
Ready?
3.
1, 2, 3.
The
Wyatt.
first. Oh. Wow.
Isn't that funny?
I figured that's what you would say.
So you
Yeah.
think Eli's birth was more traumatic? And you
Yeah.
think Wyatt's was?
Yeah, I mean they kind of mirrored each other. So both no doctor, both lost the heart rate, like all the kind of the same things.
Yeah.
The first time going in, I'm like, I didn't,
You
I don't
also-
know how serious this
Because
is.
you have no
right?
idea.
Like,
yeah.
And the second time, it's like, okay, I've been through this before.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're gonna be okay.
You also both births were the one that told the nurse / went to go get the nurse because nobody was in the room the first time that the baby was here.
The first one, Eli's head popped out. I ran out into the hallway and screamed, "There's a baby in here!" Like into the hospital.
Yeah.
Like it was insane.
Yeah.
I think that's what I
Respect.
struggled with the most is like with our first OB/GYN, like I felt like she was treating me like I did this every day. And I was like, you do this every day,
Right.
not me.
You're like, I don't know what
This is the craziest thing I've ever done. So please treat me like someone that's never fucking done this.
Yeah.
And I think like when you're in the hospital, even though a lot of them are incredible, a lot of them are desensitized to everything, to the fact to the point where like you're calling for them and they're not coming because they don't believe you. They're like, oh, she's just freaking out.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
just over it. And
I was
Morgan
doubted
Bill.
both of my births, and the listeners have heard my births. Well, I don't think I've told Wyatt's birth story, but both of my births were unmedicated. So like, I knew what was happening.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I was very
Yeah.
aware of what was happening, and both births, Chase and I both were saying like, no, like it's
time.
happening. The baby is coming.
Yeah.
And the nurses. The second time, what did
They
she
don't
come in
believe
Why
and
did you
you.
say Wyatt was harder? I'm curious.
physically? I actually wanted
Physically, yeah.
my
okay.
body.
Yeah.
it hurt really fucking bad.
Okay. So just physically, but like
Physically, that was the
emotionally,
hardest
Next
piece.
question.
Yeah.
Chase.
Drop the mic. No. So we're like going off. We need to probably go to the next question. But with Eli,
Hey, this is your
I think
podcast.
that you were scared for me and Eli.
True.
And that was the first time to witness that. With Wyatt, you knew kind of more about how it went. For me, it was a very different labor and hurt so bad.
It hurt so much. It hurt more.
Yeah.
It was back labor with Wyatt.
Ooh.
And so it was, I mean, Chase can attest to the sounds that were coming out of me.
Well, I think there's something to be said about Macy. You're experiencing it physically, in your
Right.
body. Where I think I'm speaking for Chase, but maybe like with Eli, it was really jarring because that was your first time going through it. Where you said, well, they were very similar. You
Right.
felt like, but for you, they were very similar. So maybe with Eli, it was like, oh, this is the first time I've experienced this, so it feels a lot worse than Wyatt's did for you.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
accurate.
more go into labor and then they gave you the scheduled C-section because of the blood or because of the high blood sugar?
I had my
or-
C-section scheduled, and
Okay.
I made it to that date. Yeah.
So how was that for you? And how was it for Bill?
Ooh.
Terrifying.
Producer Bill on the mic.
I mean, it's a whole thing. Like a couple reasons behind the choice of the C-section are, like not podcast appropriate, but I've got some high blood pressure issues, and my doctor did pressure me a little bit into having a C-section,
Yes.
which is something I like read about her. I no longer see her.
Same. Yeah.
And I had seen her since I was 20. So
wow.
yeah, she I trusted her. And anyway, but went in, had to be there at 5 a.m., C-section scheduled for 7. And then the nurse who was like triaging and like getting me set up in the room was like, oh, you've got this doctor. Well, like, why are you having a C-section? And I was like, well, this. And she was like, you shouldn't be having a C-section.
Oh, I didn't know the nurse told
wow.
you that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we're in there like, ready to go.
Oh, we were ready to have a baby that day.
We're ready. My parents
You
are
had,
on
like,
their
a
way into
playlist.
town. Yeah, my parents are on their way into town. Like,
yeah.
whatever, we're there. We've kind of come to terms with it because I had my C-section scheduled since like 12 weeks. And yeah, and then I was like, okay. And so we call this other doctor that I really trust, who I now see, is now my OB. And she was like, okay, well, if you want to be induced, you're gonna have to go home. And you're gonna have to come back because we're not just gonna sit here and induce you. They checked me. I was 2 centimeters, like 60% effaced. They were like, you could go into labor today. It
That's
could be
more
2
than
it could
me
be 2 weeks.
when I was
Both of my
induced.
births.
They were like, it could be 2 weeks because I was for 5 days ahead of my due date. So it was the 9th. My due date was the 14th. And I was like, I'm not going home. Like,
Yeah, fuck
we came
that.
here. But then,
Yeah, we were
then
ready
already. But then Bill's just like, this is your decision. I will do
good boy,
whichever
Bill.
one you
Yeah,
want.
sweet
This
baby.
is your choice. And I was like, well, what if this is the universe and I'm going to die in the C-section? I literally thought that is like, now the universe is telling me
It fucks with you.
Emotions
Yeah.
were high
and then,
for sure in that moment. Yeah.
And then we decide to go through with it. We're like an hour behind. And yeah, we get in there and it's fine. I mean, it was scary, but it was fine.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to like ask for the medication because your blood pressure is getting so low. I don't know, Amie, if you remember that, but yeah, I just like had to ask for more medication to bring my blood pressure back up. And that was the worst part for me, honestly. And then really afterwards was the worst part because he went to the NICU, which
That
they
is
say he had so much fluid in his lungs.
yeah.
It's hard to say, whether he would have or would have not.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm totally giving my birth story right now. But,
No, that's what we
Then he went to the
asked for.
NICU for 3.5, 4 days. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, was that because I had a C-section? But all's well that ends well.
Yeah.
We just have a lot more bills to pay. No big deal because we have the money for that. So
Luckily, you guys are rich.
The American Healthcare Association.
Yeah.
Just
So,
live
but
it.
Not rich.
yeah, we'll let Bill briefly answer how perception changed.
Yeah, how was it for you?
Oh, it's super scary, especially C-section because
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess as the man, you're not like, it's going to be crazy, but you don't like fully comprehend. I feel like this plant is directly in front of my face right now.
It absolutely
it
is.
is.
Move
It
that
is.
plant, Bill.
Yeah.
I want to see
Oh,
that.
no, it's just in front of Chase.
That face.
No, it's
I
very
can't see it.
scary. And then they start reading like
everything that could go wrong. Did they do that for you guys too?
They probably did.
They probably have to.
You blacked out? Yeah.
No, they do. They read all of it. They're like, hey, listen, so we're going to do all these things to your wife.
There could be an infection.
There could be this. There could be that. They could both die. You could die. I'm like, how am I dying?
We might
Oh no.
Yeah.
slit your throat.
Yeah, when they start
Yeah.
saying like she could die, the baby could die, and or she could be paralyzed for life. You're terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
let's get it started.
Let's go.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Did you like smell the burning flesh and all that?
Yes. I think, I don't know, once we got in the room, once I was in the room, I felt like it felt like 45 minutes once they took you in there before I could go in, right? Or something. I don't know.
It was probably
I feel like
20.
my perception of
It
time.
was fast for us.
It was the longest 12 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
I was texting people crying. I was like, I'm
like
just like freaking
and I
out.
obviously didn't have my phone, but like I think that, and also you have to text, and also you have to text everyone in the family what's going on
Yeah. I'm updating
because Morgan
people.
can't do anything.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I remember sitting out there for so long that I was like, is something wrong? And they're not letting me in. Yeah. So it's scary. I mean, perception wise, it definitely like gives you a lot more respect for people who go through it, obviously, and your
Women
wives
who
who
go
go
through
through it. Cause it's like, that's like insane.
Yeah, what does it make you guys feel about women? Like, does it make you guys just
ties
so
into
happy
another
that you're not
question, yeah.
women?
Exactly.
Very happy.
What did you
Yes.
say? Happy we're not women?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when you see your wives go through that or your partners, you just must feel like, wow.
No, it's the most like in love I've ever felt with Macy for sure. Like I think that it's the most proud I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. But no, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, you're like, thank
I'm
God.
also pretty happy it's not me.
Yep.
Yeah.
The first thing you said to me after E was born wasn't even like about him. You came up behind me. You said, "I'm so proud of you."
Yeah, that's
That's
really how
so
it felt. It's just
beautiful.
like proud.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it's what a crazy thing to do.
It's not.
To bring
nuts.
life into the world.
nuts.
And
awesome.
women do it
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Over and over.
That's how we all got here, which is cuckoo.
Yeah. It's,
Wild.
It's
Yeah.
so wild.
We don't
In
need,
case you didn't.
we don't need to talk about it.
That's also like another reason. Like when my mom puts like the kitchen towel like on the stove and like almost burns the house down, I'm like, but you did this.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you are also nuts, but you did this. You had all of us
4
and
times.
raised all of us, and we're all alive. You might burn my house down, but yeah,
All
it
parents
gives
are
you this
crazy.
new respect for like. Wow, because I think we all think of our parents in this like funny, like kooky way where we're like, oh, like they're awesome, but like they're our parents. Then you now know what they had to do to get us to this point.
Have sex.
And so much more.
Sex?
Have sex. Look at Morgan's face. Please, can we focus on Morgan's face for this moment?
Next question.
Okay, what's the next question? Let's move on.
That was
we could
one
do
question.
an entire.
All right.
Yeah.
It's going to be the longest
No,
episode.
it's we wanted to flow, you know?
Yeah, we need it to
23
flow.
minutes in already.
No,
That's okay.
That's funny.
This is going to be a
That's great.
4-hour
That's funny.
podcast.
Yeah.
Chase's one point of feedback with this show is that the episodes are too short.
Yeah,
so
you need to go long for it.
Look,
Oh,
we're
doing
just
3 hours.
we're just gonna
3
give
hours
the
for this
people
episode.
Who's
what
got the
they want.
babysitter for 3 hours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the
Yeah, everyone, if you want to pay for their childcare tonight,
Long form.
Amy's
Long form.
tip
Venmo is
us at. Just
I've got enough
JK,
tequila.
JK.
We'll put 2 hours on Patreon. That'll
Yeah.
be perfect.
Oh yeah.
Look at producer Bill on the mic.
Ooh.
all right. Nick and Chase, Bill, if you feel like it. How do you feel loved and appreciated?
Like what's my like
Love language?
Love language?
Not your no.
Because there's been an episode about that this week.
How do you feel loved and appreciated? However you interpret that.
I mean, the thing that makes me the happiest is like when Farrah is like excited to see me, or is like running and saying "Daddy," and then like in her little voice, and then gives me a hug.
Daddy.
Yeah, I was about to do that.
I can't do the Farrah voice as well as Amie can.
Daddy sit. Daddy talk.
Daddy do this.
Daddy
Daddy
hold.
do that. Yeah, and then like I mean, the best thing is when your kids are happy to see you. I think
Nothing about me.
Yeah, can we talk
that's
about
really cute.
I'm
That's
getting there.
great.
I'm
That's
just thinking-
great,
I'm
though.
thinking about.
I was
kidding.
gonna say that
As
too.
a dad.
No, I mean,
yeah.
of course I love you and I love and feel appreciated by you anytime that like, we're just around and spending time with Farrah and like our unit. We always talk about our little unit, like the three of us and Tito.
You include Tito. I don't. He's not included in my
That's
unit.
my boy. I'm always
Yeah.
going to stick up for my guy.
He's so annoying. Oh my God, he's so annoying.
He means well.
He is annoying.
He does mean well. But like I think that how I feel loved and appreciated is like, I mean, when we have food on the table and we can enjoy each other's company, and like when we're laughing together, like or when Farrah's funny.
I need tissues.
Farrah is the funniest little human in the world.
She's so funny.
Amie is also funny. And I have
And Nick
my
is
moments.
not.
We
as
all
we've
think you are.
discussed.
No. I get made fun of because
No, you are funny. You're just not like when
No,
you're
Nick is
trying. You're not funny
hilarious,
when you're
For
trying.
the record.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bill.
Nick is
very
very
funny.
funny.
No. Amie goes, I'm laughing with you. I go, I'm not laughing. She's like, no, but we're laughing with you. I'm like, okay. But no, I don't even know if I answered the question. I love
You did.
Your answer is
love
perfect.
is very present in the home, and that's the best thing.
Aw.
So
I would say that's evident. in
Yeah, we
y'all's
do
house.
have a lot of love in our home.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would echo that. Like, I think having a young family is probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. When Eli's in a good mood, 1 out of every 5 days, or whatever it is,
Heard.
and
truth.
Wyatt is happy, and Macy and I are happy, and
Yeah.
we're just living life as an American family. That rarely happens.
Hell yeah.
roll tide.
When all the stars align and everybody's happy, then yeah, it's amazing. But I don't know. I guess I just feel loved when all the things that we work for are coming together.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And that doesn't always happen by any means. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work and a lot of failed attempts, and sometimes it all does. And that's when I feel love.
I mean, yeah, and you got to take chances
Yeah.
too. Like that was the other thing. Like we bought a house in the middle of the pandemic in a shitty area, but we like needed to own something.
Yeah.
We turned it into something that was able to put us in the neighborhood we're in now in Nashville, and it's just been the greatest thing that we've ever done for our family.
Yes.
And now, through a lot of hard work from both of us, like Amie putting in 2 years just with Farrah, like kind of putting her writing career on the side. And we're in a position now where I think we're going to come into 2024 in just a great place.
Yeah.
And like, it's exciting. And like, love and appreciated goes further than just like the day to day, but like the long term goals that you set for each other. Because everybody wants to like go on vacation and like enjoy the things that they build. And it's just like, I mean, not to be cliche and play off what you were saying, but that's the American dream. It's
Yeah.
just like to put yourself in a position where you can be comfortable. Like my dad was the son of immigrants, like
Yeah,
they
my
came
dad
off the
too.
boat in the 50s. Her dad, they came off the boat from Italy in the 50s. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you work your ass off, you take care of your family, and you set them up for a life that was better than yours. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And like we're not even traveling this year at all for the holidays because we know that right now we have to knuckle down. We have to we have a lot of stuff at our home to take care of where we're just like, it's not time to do a bunch of shit that we feel like doing. It's time to set traditions for her and make, and we were saying this earlier, especially with the people in this room and then a few people that are not in this room, but we have found our chosen family, and that has been such a humongous deal for us, and our kid, and it's also such a humongous deal for us that we've been trying so hard to have another kid, and we don't know if that's going to happen. The fact that we have this chosen family and we know that she has you guys has been such a relief for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, we always
To
thought
know that they will have your kids, that she
Yeah.
will have your kids if she doesn't have siblings. It's been just a huge thing for us.
yeah, she's got siblings. She's got
She
siblings.
has siblings.
She's got siblings for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely tearing.
Oh man.
It's really
It's a big
cool.
deal.
It's really cool.
It's been a big deal for us to live
Who
here.
needs a margarita?
Oh man, that got me. I obviously witnessed Eli and Farrah's and Hart and Eli, like all of our kids' relationships on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So that made me emotional.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, we describe Eli and Farrah as brother and sister.
Yeah.
Like they love and hate each other exactly how brother and sister do.
Heart's the same way.
Yeah,
Heart,
and Hart
today
too.
I got
Yeah,
home from the studio and
Yeah.
she goes, Heart bit my finger.
She's Farrah's from Transylvania. If anybody was curious.
No, that's how she talks.
She swallows her R's.
Eli pulled my hair. And I'm like, I know, baby. That happened like 3 months ago.
No,
I know that you're still talking about it.
Heart bite my face.
Yeah.
Heart bite my face.
Yeah.
Did happen.
But like we're gonna talk, and me and Morgan saw it in slow motion. But like we're gonna talk about this shit when we're older, and like we're going to miss these days.
Yeah.
These days are so hard.
Yeah.
There are days like yesterday when I came home.
recall.
So me and Nick, Farrah cried literally for 3 hours yesterday for no reason at all. I blame the full moon. My kid was psychotic yesterday. I honestly have never seen her be that awful in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got here and Hart was so awful that I felt better about Farrah.
I'm so happy
they-
we
Sorry,
could.
guys.
I'm glad we could be of assistance.
We got here and it was just me and Morgan were staring at each other and we were just like, what is this life? It
But
was
every single
a
time we
shit
have
show.
a hangout like that, which like honestly happens more than it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it more times than not. It's
Farrah and Eli
chaotic
kill each other. Like they
every
like
single
literally
time.
strangle each other
Yeah.
and like kick each
Nick and I
other in
were
the
saying
face.
that. We're like, every kid is just like on a streak. Like
Yeah.
we don't know what streak it is, but they're all in some version of themselves that we're all dealing with.
But every time we have a hangout, we always like, yes, we may not leave feeling like relaxed, but we did it together.
Yes.
And
You
that's
realize that
way
someone else-
better.
And then we went to the park and everything was fine. Except for the crackheads at the park.
and I
Remember the
Nick told
crackheads at the park? Morgan, the crackheads at the park!
between the crackheads and my boob sweat, it was really a really great time.
All I said was just, like the park at dusk is a place.
That's what Nick told us.
It
We
is a
gotta
place.
not go to the park at dusk, by the way.
No.
It's a whole nother place.
Yeah.
It's a crack den.
The scary people came out for sure.
Okay, next
it wasn't
question.
us. Okay,
Good answer, guys.
let's maybe get silly.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, please don't.
How often do you think about sex?
Honest
answer. They say.
Chase, you go first because I don't even want to hear.
Honest.
I have to go first on
Yeah,
this one?
yeah,
Come on, Chase.
he's going first.
This
last
is
two
the
times.
worst one to go first on.
Hey.
How often do I think? 3 times a day?
Wow. Pretty
What
good.
about the Roman Empire? Have y'all seen that? I'm just kidding. Have y'all seen that trend?
Why are you
Yeah.
looking at
Trent, I think about the Roman Empire once a week. I think about sex 5 times a day.
Bill?
Yeah, it's definitely 3 to 5.
such a Bill answer?
Definitely.
And then
no, it seems like-
every 3 to
he's like-
5 months.
It's definitely a daily thing. 3 to
Yeah.
5 within. Yeah.
But
I
is
mean,
it because your wives are so
That's
smoking
a tough
hot?
grenade
Though?
to throw in the
Yeah.
middle there.
But also
Oh, yeah.
men, but you wake up and your body is telling you like, hey, by the way, we're here.
It
Hormones
sure
are here.
fucking is. There's
Yeah.
nothing like being woken up to this.
A poke. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
The
Wake up to the
woodpecker.
poke.
The woodpecker. After being touched out, I'm just like, no.
Well, you're also
Get
still
away.
you're also still breastfeeding.
I'm breastfeeding, so right now nothing.
When I remember when I was
Nothing counts right
breastfeeding, and if you looked at me the wrong way, I was like, "Don't you sexualize
Yeah,
this?"
make Chase feel better about that. It's not you. It's just that there's not a hormone in my
No.
body that
I
even
also couldn't get
thinks
like
about
wet
it.
at all.
No, it's the Sahara Desert.
are bigger than your head.
Yeah.
And then you go like, I'm excited.
More the merrier.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more the
no,
merrier.
it's so weird. The breastfeeding thing, like, it really messes.
I'm not sitting there like watching.
No, it wasn't like you weren't like into it because of that, but like you were just
Sexual
like
about breastfeeding.
No, you weren't sexualizing me because of the
No.
breastfeeding, but you were like, let me get some in there at some point. And I'm like, let me not.
No, it is true. Listen, a few days ago, I put Wyatt down, and then Eli has been going through this stage for 4 months now where it's mama down, mama down. I'm the only person that can put him down. So I put Wyatt down, which involves me feeding him and, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I put Eli down, which is a whole charade too. Like, it's not just,
the toddler put down is a whole.
So I do both of those things, and I walk downstairs, and Chase goes, "Do you have 10 minutes for the last boy?" And I was like,
You got 10 minutes for your boy.
and I literally,
Hey, I respect it, players. I respect it.
You got 10 minutes for your boy. It's the best thing I've ever heard.
Because you need about 3.5. Let's be honest.
my lunch is half eaten. It's cold. I had just done both of the boys down, and Chase is like, "What about me?" And I literally go, "Okay, I'll just eat my lunch cold. Let's go."
Gotta shoot your shot.
Gotta shoot your shot.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
hey, but the middle of the day has a higher success rate than late at night.
That is true.
True.
That
Middle
is
of the
true.
day is not the day. Middle of the day,
Yeah.
50%.
Hey,
Later
two
night,
kids,
12%.
both of them are asleep. It's like rare
the
moments.
only- yeah,
You know,
it's
you
true.
gotta-
Yeah.
And
You got
I'm
time
always
for your boy is
appreciative.
my favorite thing that I've ever heard.
If he
in my life.
didn't initiate it, it wouldn't happen. So I can't.
Yeah.
God bless. God
Okay,
bless.
so ladies,
How often do we think about sex?
yeah,
The Roman
but
Empire.
take the incessant begging from our husbands out of the equation. How often do you think about sex organically on your own?
Currently, right now, while breastfeeding,
Sure.
once every 2 weeks.
I rarely think about sex right now, but that's because I'm on Prozac and Wellbutrin.
So you might as well be breastfeeding.
You know what I mean? Like, and my doctor, because I went to my doctor a few months ago and I was like, hey, your girl's not doing okay. Like, she's crying in parking lots. And she was like, okay, let's just stack you a little bit with some other help. And she said, if I'm going to put some Prozac on this, you're going to be desensitized a little bit sexually. And I've experienced that before because I've been on Prozac before.
And you breastfed for 16 months.
And I breastfed for 16 months. I did get my drive back after breastfeeding for a while. Like, we were doing it. And we're still doing it. I just don't really.
We all know you're doing it.
We're still doing it all the time. I'm just like, it's so much harder for me to get off because
But also y'all are doing it. Y'all are doing it for a very specific. I mean,
we're trying to conceive.
But right?
Yeah, we're trying to
there's-
conceive.
That's a whole factor too.
I mean, he's having a great time.
Y'all
He's
sex life
having like an amazing time every
publicly
time.
in the group has been one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
we all know
what's happening.
And you're getting good.
Oh yeah. I'm getting good. Yeah, I'm getting good like 7 days
Left and
mid-month.
right.
Amy's went over so many times where she like drops something off. She's like, "All right, gotta go get good." And Chase and I are like, "Got it."
My favorite line from Nick.
Why is Chase there?
Why
is Chase there?
My favorite line from Nick is hearing on the podcast him look at you and go, "Do you need some goo?"
He came to me the other day during ovulation. He was like, this is what he does. Like, he'll be at work, but he'll like, if I come home, he'll come in the room and he'll be like, you good, right? You need anything? I'm like, you mean like sperm? No.
Do you
Like,
need it?
I'm fucking
chest?
good. I don't need your sperm right now.
reporting for duty.
Yeah.
That title of the podcast.
It's a
No,
tough
dude,
job,
I do not.
and somebody's got to do
Yeah,
it.
I don't need your sperm right
It's
now.
not much, but it's honest work.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you,
honest
Morgan.
work.
That's where I was really trying to go.
No, I always say like he's gonna be so pissed if it actually works. He's gonna be like, "Fuck, it worked."
He's like, "What are we gonna do without gooey?"
Because I'm not a horny pregnant woman. I mean,
No.
maybe this next time, maybe I'll be.
You
a
know,
horny
every
pregnant
time
woman.
though, Chase is rooting for you and like, yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
I bet. That's my guy.
Cute. Anyways,
All right, next question.
question.
Yeah, the ladies don't think about sex a lot. Let's all.
No, not. I mean,
it's
sometimes
every-
if I'm
We've
reading
learned, yeah.
like a Colleen Hoover book, I'll be like, "Ooh,
It's every 3 to 5 business
That
years
sounds-
Been reading
for
a
me.
lot of Colleen
no,
Hoover.
no, I haven't. I was for a minute. I was really on a streak, and I was like, "Ooh, this is helping." Because he would come to bed, and I'd be like, "Want to try something?" Like Colleen Hoover.
he's like, "I don't remember."
So let's go back to those books.
But no, like no. In general, I'm like I have a toddler who is like a high needs.
Yes. High needs is a term.
Yeah.
High needs is, she's special.
Bobby.
She's the best.
She's
the best.
She's amazing, but she's not easy.
But we have to conduct
We have a
covert
covert mission.
operations
Like today,
to
I was
get
in the
Amie
studio
out of the house.
just to leave. We had to do a covert mission, and it didn't work because she's too fucking smart. So it's like it's very like it's just stressful all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question. Let's
She is the
let's
shit,
go.
though.
She's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best.
Lowest low and highest high of parenting so far.
Ooh, I really like this question.
Wow.
Lowest low was probably the serum sickness. That was 3 days in the hospital. She was swollen. She was young. She couldn't tell us what was going on.
How old was she? I know y'all dealt the first year with
About
a ton
a
of
year.
14
sicknesses.
months,
Okay.
maybe?
A little over a year.
Little over a year. It was awful. It was
She
scary
had
as
she had a
shit.
catheter.
Yeah.
She
And
had an
then, like-
IV in her arm for days. Like it was.
You go to Vandy Children's, and God bless them, but then they go, hey, hold your kid
95. Yeah.
hold your kid down while we put this IV in her arm. I'm like, excuse me, what? And then you just pin down an unsuspecting 1-year-old who is also a brute. She's
Who
the
is, like,
strongest
she was a rabid
she's the
animal,
strongest
yeah.
human being. She is.
She had the strength of 10 men.
Yeah.
Like it took me and Nick and 2 nurses to hold a 14-month-old down with her screaming my name. It was
No, it wasn't great. The first,
was traumatizing.
The first 2 days at the hospital that during the serum sickness were awful. And then by the 3rd day, she was running around, running the place.
She was literally walking around the hospital,
Yeah.
like
She is.
with her little cast, like because she had a
That doesn't
little
surprise
IV.
me.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
and
she
like
is-
owning the place.
She is so Tony Iorio.
Yeah.
She's Amie and
But
Tony.
I think that was another low. Your dad dying.
Oh yeah. Well, do we need?
No, we don't need to go there. But like going back and forth to New
Oh,
York
that
with
was
a
awful.
colicky newborn,
That was
driving
yeah.
20 hours back and forth to New York, nursing the whole way, stopping every 2 hours while his dad was dying over and over, back and forth for the first 5 months of her life
That was terrible.
with a C-section
Yeah.
wound.
Yeah.
Traumatizing.
No, that was
And then you got attacked by that dog.
also terrible. Yeah. Don't adopt.
We've had a lot of We've had a lot of trauma in the
Yeah.
first
Don't
2
adopt
years.
dogs when your dad's in the hospital dying. That's my advice for everybody.
Good advice.
Especially dogs that bite people.
Okay, highest high.
I mean, the birth was really high. I mean, we have so much fun with her, like saying things and talking to us, and I don't know what's the highest high.
I
That
don't
one
know.
that's
I don't
harder
have a
because there's a
specific
lot
one
of good
because
ones.
every day where she's happy is
I
really
think just
high.
like how much she adores you right now.
Oh yeah,
Like,
we're
she is in
we're
a
in very
daddy-
high moment right
She's
now.
in a daddy phase, and that's
Yeah.
like a really big deal.
That's
like
good.
she's
That's a good call.
She's obsessed with you and obsessed with
She's very
you.
happy
Like
with
she
me.
cries when you leave. She's
Yeah,
loves dancing with you and doing and cooking with you.
she
and
yells up the stairs when I'm in meetings.
helping you. Yeah,
Yeah.
daddy. She has to tell him everything she does. She has to tell him. She has to be like, Daddy, look, mommy, a new necklace. Like, Daddy, look. Yeah, everything she does, she has to run up the stairs and be like, Daddy, Farrah,
Calling you Nick isn't
Farrah
high.
ate a pancake.
No, I don't like being called Nick by my daughter.
She calls me
but,
Amie too sometimes.
yeah.
I'm like, you?
No, because your kids call us by our
yeah.
names, which is acceptable.
why.
But it's like, I looked at her in the park today. I was like, I'm daddy.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
Nick.
daddy. I'm not Nick.
What about you guys? Lowest lows and highest highs.
I mean, I feel like it's obvious for us. Lowest lows was Wyatt's colic
Yeah.
phase. Hardest thing I've ever been through, bar none.
rock bottom for sure.
Just literally going to bed at night, looking at each other like, I don't know how we're going to do this for the next 12 hours of passing him back and forth with him crying and maybe sleeping 30 minutes on one of our chests at a time. Super low. And then waking up and Eli, getting up at 7 o'clock and being like, hey, I'm ready. I slept all 12 hours. I'm ready to go. That was lowest low. Highest high. I mean, honestly, like I feel like it's like right now. I'm so happy with where Eli's at in the same way with Farrah. Like they're talking so much. Like I genuinely love my time with Eli. And Wyatt is not like the best napper, but other than that, he's a really good baby. Like he's
So sweet.
yeah, like he is. He's very, very manageable compared to what we went.
He's
went
a
through.
really happy kid.
Yeah. So like, I kind of feel like right now is my high of being a parent.
Wyatt is so cute.
Oh my God.
Well, you guys
And
came in-
Eli's having full conversations with me.
Oh, yeah.
So I know
Yeah.
he is with you guys.
Yeah.
He tells me what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
What he wants to watch, what he wants
He's
to eat.
fully talking. Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
As someone who's been trying to get Eli to like them,
He's loving
we're in
it
a
out.
good, we're in a good
Y'all
spot.
are in a real good
We're in a good
spot.
spot right
At the
now.
park this morning.
That's my guy.
They came a little bit because y'all came from Dose. They came a little bit later, and he like ran over and he literally looks at me and goes, "Where's Nick?" And I was like, "Okay."
Isn't it weird that they're asking like human questions?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so weird.
She said, "Mommy, sit and watch something with me."
yeah.
She said, "Sit and watch
Oh,
something."
what was the
with
thing
me.
she said the other day too?
I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
She's been
Yes, ma'am.
she's been doling out sentences where you're just like,
Yeah.
excuse me, you shouldn't be saying that now. Like,
Yeah, she's been saying crazy
So
shit.
much,
What
so
about you
much.
guys? Highest highs, lowest lows.
Lowest low would probably be the NICU as a specific example.
Oof,
that was
gosh.
rough. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Especially with Morgan post C-section
Yeah.
and just like
NICU
crying, just going
experiences
to the
sounds-
bathroom. Yeah.
Oh.
And then you have to get in a
Absolutely.
wheelchair. You have to go up. How long do you have to scrub in?
3
Like
minutes.
3 minutes.
And
So
you
she
have
would
to,
have to
like,
stand
lean
for 3
over
minutes to scrub in every time.
This big
Oh.
sink,
Oh my
and you
God.
have
Oh, yeah.
no core strength at all, and an incision.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Just as a general low.
Couldn't nurse.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, we had to do bottles. General lows probably just be like I was talking to Nick about this today, like the bad dad days. When you lay down, you're like, that wasn't a good dad day today, huh? You know, you
The
lose your,
fact that you think that means you're a really good
hasn't
dad.
It is
though.
a really good thing.
yeah, when you lose like your patience, you know,
We all
Yeah.
feel that for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That
yeah.
means y'all are a
have
good
this.
dad. The fact that
But-
y'all think that means you're a good dad.
Then
Yeah.
then you don't feel guilty about it because that means you're a good dad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It
you
does.
feel
Like,
guilty.
like,
You
that
feel
can be a
guilty
cop
about
out,
it when you
right?
like
Yeah.
really when you
Yeah,
get frustrated.
easy for me to
No,
say.
but that
I feel
means
you.
Yeah.
like if you're a good dad, if you
Yeah.
feel
Sweet.
guilty.
Yeah, if you feel
honestly,
guilty
take that
about
as a
it.
sweet thing.
Yeah.
What about
But
a
then
high?
Highs would probably be. I remember last year on my birthday, he walked for me for the first time, which was cool. I
On
got
your
that on
birthday?
video.
That's
yeah,
pretty good.
which is very exciting.
Way to heart.
Yeah.
It was really cute.
And just like, yeah, in general right now, it's a very sweet time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a high.
Unless you bring guests over.
right.
Yeah.
Then
He's
it's
very
World War III.
territorial for
Like,
sure.
how dare we?
Yeah.
I love Heart, by the way. I'm not trying
No,
to
you're obsessed with
dissuade Heart. I love Heart.
No, yesterday was brutal. That could be a low for me.
Yeah, yesterday was a low.
That was pretty wild.
No, but it was a full moon, and I think they were all
Everybody's was low.
sociopaths.
Everybody was low yesterday.
The moon was mooning. But low for me was definitely NICU. I think. Yeah, I can't really think of anything that was just like so bad. Other than that, of course, there's like the things that are hard, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then high, I think him and I have a bond like that's greater than I ever expected.
Yeah.
So I think just
Yeah.
Oh, he loves his
I
mama.
can't pinpoint.
God,
Yeah. One thing. It's like so special.
So yeah, when Heart's in a good mood, I mean, there's no one fucking cuter.
I know.
When he
Yeah,
like,
he's the best.
because sometimes he'll be like, he loves me. Other days he doesn't care about me at all. He always loves Nick,
He does.
but Eli always loves me, so I never worry about it. But like when Hart loves me, I'm like, ooh, this is like a moment. He'll give me like kisses, and he'll say, Amie, and he wants me to hold him. I'm like, okay.
These boys are going to be into brunettes. I'll tell
You
you
always
what.
say that because you like love me. You're
I
like,
do love you. I do love you.
Eli
But
You're
like,
okay, Eli
will
loves
say-
Annie.
Eli loves
Eli
you.
loves me.
I'm gonna make
Eli's going to be cutting over
I
the
do,
grass.
I do love my boys.
This is a small comment for anyone who watched The Golden Bachelor, which this feels random. It's not as random as it sounds. Jimmy Kimmel's Aunt Chippy was on there briefly
Was she the one in the tracksuit?
as a joke. No,
No, she was like 82 or 84 or something. Yeah.
Good Lord.
and a clip came up on Instagram, and Hart was sitting beside me. He goes, Amie, and I was like, Amie does not look like Aunt Chippy.
I'm 85. I'm Aunt Chippy.
Yeah, apparently.
That's fine with me. I'll be Aunt Chippy. That's fine. Amie. That's so cute. And awful and like not good.
Right, you don't look 85.
Yeah. That's fine.
You don't even
I am an old
35.
coot.
You don't even look 35.
Yeah. I am an old coot. That's
Everything's
fine.
okay.
Yeah, everything's fine.
We gonna be all right.
What's the should we do one more question?
Yeah, let's do
Just
one
for
more. Let it
shits and
flow.
gigs?
Uno mas.
Okay.
Should it be fun?
I
Bill's
think they're
like-
fun no
Bill,
matter the
Bill,
question.
Bill got a devious look in his
like,
eye.
should it
Wait,
be fun?
we have one
He
other
was going for one
other
specific
fun
question.
one. We have one other fun one, and it's pretty inappropriate.
Is it the anal one?
It is the anal
I don't
one.
want to talk about
No,
that.
it's
one.
not that one.
Well, anal is like someone
Mama
asked if
after
why
Rock
men
me,
are so
Mama.
into anal, and like none of us do anal, so
No.
like we don't know. But if
hard
your
to
husband's into anal, that's cool.
He might just like men.
You don't know.
So maybe-
you don't have to do it if you don't
Maybe
want to.
send us your maybe ask your husbands and
Depends on
DM
the-
us. Why do they like
but
it
not
so much?
not all.
Size.
We're not all into anal.
We can't speak to this. We're not. Yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
we can.
Okay, we're just gonna do this one because I don't have any other, non-anal fun ones. We just found out we're expecting, and it's our first. Do you have any advice for a new dad?
Ooh, I'm gonna sit back.
All right. Just prepare to for things that you don't expect, right? Like, one, it isn't all about you, right? Like, none of it is about you at the end of the day. Honestly. Right? Like, it isn't, though. At the end of the day, like, your wife is going to go through a lot. Emotionally, hormonally, physically. So, like, be there for her. Drive to the gas station when she wants beef jerky. Go make something spicy. Get her Thai food. Massage her feet. Put the oil on the belly for stretch marks. Let her take 7-hour baths if she wants to. Play
What about after the kid comes?
Oh, well, I was just talking about the pregnancy. After the kid comes, be there for her. If she C-section or not, like, you're going to need to do a lot of things that you're going to get frustrated about. Or, like, I don't understand this. Or why is she being that way? Or, I don't know. There's going to be hard days and there's going to be great days. Just do everything you can to be supportive, I would say.
Good.
Right?
That was really sweet.
Yeah, that's very good. I like it.
All right, Chase. How you gonna top that?
I have two answers, I guess. The first would be, and I think we talked about this earlier, like, don't try to hold on to yourself. You've changed immensely. Your life has changed immensely.
Don't try to hold on to your pre-baby self.
Yeah, your pre-baby self. Like, you are going to change and embrace it rather than try to, like, cling on to who you were before having a baby, and embrace being a dad, because I think it's the best role that I've ever had in my life and the most purpose that I've ever felt is being a dad. That's my answer. The best answer I've ever heard, I guess I can repeat, will be all of the bad things that come with having a kid, the pacifiers, the diapers, the colic, the crying, all of that kind of stuff, it will go away at some point. It ends. All of the good stuff, the feeling of purpose, the love that you have for your child, the meaning that it is to have a son or a daughter, that stuff stays forever, and you can't have it without having a kid. So hold on to that and know that the bad stuff ends and the good stuff stays.
That's so good.
Well said. Well said.
That was a well said.
Yeah, the bad stuff
no.
ends and the good stuff stays. That's a really good one.
Yeah,
great.
something someone else said, I just want to add on top of that is just show up. Especially when they get older, show up. Soccer games, baseball, gymnastics, whatever your kid's into, show up.
Yeah.
Be there for them.
Yeah.
Your job is not that important.
I think
Show
that's
up.
something that your dad, that's like
Oh,
Your dad showed up to everything.
Yeah.
you could hear him in the crowd
Yeah.
of 3,000 people at the
Yeah.
high school football game screaming.
And even when we moved, every move we made, everything that we did,
Showed up.
like he was right. He was right there. He would show up to anything, no matter what. And that's like, that is at the end of the day what matters. Show up, be there.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's huge. It's huge.
Oh, my dad was too. Still.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bill? Advice for new dads?
Oh, I would say, I think when you get married, it kind of displays how selfish you are. And then you have to learn to be selfless. And then when you have a child, it's even more so. Yeah, so I would say you're always constantly learning, just in life in general, how to be more selfless.
Yeah.
Because even us right now, we're going through that. We're seeing like our kids, like they're going through the selfish stage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're always constantly like teaching them how to be selfless. And I think that's kind of like through your whole life, you're kind of going through that. You're becoming more and more selfless. So
Yeah.
I would say kind of prepare for that next level of like, okay, how can I be more selfless? How can I like serve my family, my wife and my kids, and be the best dad I can be, you know?
I love
think
that.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
That's good.
All right.
Wow, guys, good answers. Huh?
Great answers. No, but I remember.
Good answer. Good answer.
I remember when a girlfriend of mine, my best friend ever, Megan. She told me like when I first had Farrah, she was like, I don't feel like the human experience is fully developed until you have a child. And she said, I couldn't say that.
100% agree.
She said, I couldn't say that to you before you had one. But she's like, but now that we have it, and not to like, there is nothing against people that don't have kids because fuck, man, most of us shouldn't have kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I know that should not have kids. But if you choose to embark on this human experience, it is the most, it is just such a vast experience that you will not have and that you could not possibly fathom if you didn't do it.
Unless you have a dog. And then you... then, of course...
Because having a dog and
It's
a baby
just like
is the
having a
same
kid.
thing.
Dog mom.
All right. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to the dads.
Cheers. Thanks for being on, dads.
We
Y'all
love
are
you
great.
guys.
We love y'all a lot. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bill and
To the
Warren.
producers. Love
Cheers.
you guys.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.